Hey, folks, it's Brian. We got to play Elderath last night. Yep, Saturday night. And um, where do we start off? Okay, so there was some discussion that I didn't capture on live play. Oh, by the way, live play in the description, um, where uh, Wes had a steel +1 quality rapier that he started off with. And he has used the staff spell to make his rapier his staff, which does a couple things. It makes it a +2 weapon, magic, and it is also a +2 spell adder. And I need to use that more often. My first two spells should be that, bam, bam. But anyway, um, I had been thinking that this +2 magic is over stamping the +1 quality, but that's not the case. He gets the +1 quality and the +2 magic, so he's doing +3 damage. So with his rapier on normal attack, he's doing, if he hits, he's doing a d6 +4. So if they're wearing, anything, well, Kiboli's 3. I'm not sure what 4 points. I think ring mail is like 4 points. But if they're wearing anything lighter than chain or scale, he'll be getting through a point or two now, which is something that he was struggling with early on. These guys in plate and such, and just not getting through, not doing any damage, trying to figure out different ways to how can I boost my damage to get through all this stuff. But he only knows the spell is up to 5. He's got the list up to 10, so we'll have to do some more. Well, he's got to get better at it so that he can then study to get to that level 10 stuff, because that's going to give him. And I should look it up, but it's going to be, I think it'll get him up to +4. So that would be a d6 +1 +1 +4. So it's 5, 6. A d6 +6. He's going through plate every time, which would be very, very handy. Plus, he can store spells in his rapier staff. And the last time we did a lightning bolt, I'm thinking, I'm going to talk with the GM about this. Because previously Wes had been practicing firing shock bolts, casting the spell, but not completing it until he actually makes a connection with his rapier. So he's doing his rapier damage and some shock bolt damage to see if that might give way through. Imagine doing that with lightning bolts. Good to go. Okay, anyway, we go to Cavern H. Straw in the cave is this sign, says, "No monsters here. All humanoids welcome." Off the side of that, though, Hjalmar does see somebody's called there, "Beware, bugbears." So we go in, there's a T intersection, we go right. There's a room off to its left, down south. And of course, we've got light showing, and there's creatures in here that can see in the dark, so everybody knows we're coming. We hear a voice call out, visitors, come, we have food. Yes, yes, good food, come sit. So Raymond, planning ahead, casts Bless on Runt, which gives him a defense bonus and a bonus to his manipulation skills. Wes, roasting off it, says, "Okay, I'm going to cast Enchant Robes on himself." And I'm going to have to get some more, not feedback, get back with the GM on, because in Arms Law, the whole thing, Spell Law, Arms Law, Iron Crown, whole Iron Crown Enterprises mechanic. There's a name for it. All you have are offense bonuses and defense bonuses. There's no absorption mechanic, because the absorption is built into all the tables and charts. So, I'm thinking our enchant robes +2 defense bonus. That's actually a +2 armor points of absorption. That's what it should be, because things like blur, which make you harder to hit, yeah, defense bonus. They subtract from their ability to hit. The shield, I'm still not sure how to deal with that, because in Rollmaster, that's what it's called. In Rollmaster, a shield just gives you a plus 25 defense bonus, makes you harder to hit. Whereas in RuneQuest, a shield interposes and absorbs damage. So something further to discuss with him. Okay, but anyway, back on. So Wes casts enchant robes on himself, and the voice continues. We have vegetable-less vegetables. As we enter, the creature talking to us has his back to us. He motions, "Come, sit, sit." They've got a round table. There's 3 of them sitting there, 3 other chairs. "Come, good food, food." They are bugbears, but none of us know what bugbears are like, so they're described to us as some kind of mutant orc goblinoids. So there are conversations occur. Raymond is talking with them, trying to get things happening, and had expected the rest of us to stay in the back, but instead, Wes goes marching in, and so did Hjalmar. And we sit down, we're all talking, and there's a discussion about food, but we won't get there just yet. So there's some discussion about the owlbear and the other king. You watch out. Besides the owlbear, he only comes out at night, but there's that witch, and he describes, these buggers are speaking in common. Describes, is essentially a female dark elf. Now, she's a slaver who works for the tower. And we mentioned, we did lose a friend to our tower. He says, sad. He probably works for her now then. They dig deep. There was something else that I missed. Anyway, we start joining up at the table. Conversations ensues. These bugbears came from the other side of the pass. The witch is over there, and she is bad. So they've escaped, and there's only a few of them less. There's Boss Man up the stairs. Who knows more? And so there's just further discussions on, are you going to eat? They got these shish kebabs. They say it's mutton. And, it's not really cooked either. It's like been warmed up kind of thing. And so there's discussion, are you going to eat some? And Raymond eats some, but as he swallows it, he casts some kind of healing thing on him that takes care of poison in himself. He can only cast it on himself. And so Wes is thinking, okay, if we do this really thinly sliced raw meat, there's some kind of French delicacy that's like that, and we do it on a charred piece of it, that maybe we could eat that. And as he's going for it, Emerald is thinking, maybe I should have some too. And she goes down and sniffs it and goes, ooh, ick, no, and hides back in the hood. This is not mutton. Get this impression, not mutton. And so at that, Hobgoblin number 8, which is sitting next to Wes, takes offense at Wes not eating, because as soon as we sat down, they scooped off skewer stuff onto our plates. Eat, eat, good food, vegetables, vegetables. And so number 8's getting upset or frustrated. Number 6 is across from him, stands up trying to calm him down, calm 8 down, right? And then 8 scrapes the food off of his skewer, and he stands up. Well, Wes had pushed himself back when he realized this is not mutton. And so when number 8 stands up, Wes stands up at the same time. He's got his dagger out. And it becomes obvious number 8's going to attack him with the skewer, right? So Wes casts Sleep 5, but these are 3 hit die creatures, right? And this ties back to this whole other sleep spell issue thing that I and the GM, I keep having. I try to bring up to the GM, and we're going to discuss this again. Because the spell has its own power level, and it's only a first level spell, right? Well, even the 4th level spell still has the same spell level. In fact, the 10th level spell, which is supposed to hit 20 levels of creatures, has the same power level as the 1st level spell. So I'm going to try to convince him that maybe we should beast that up. But anyway, does he cast? Actually, no, it was Sleep 5. That's right. Well, we actually talked about the discussion. Hey, if I do Sleep 7, is that the same 12 power as the Sleep 5? And yes, it is. Oh, well, okay. Just do a Sleep 5. There's only 3 of them, right? So number 8 made his saving throw. Number 4, which is next to him, missed and goes down. And number 6 made his saving throw, if I remember correctly as well. So 8 attempts to attack Wes with his skewer, And Wes got a special success on his parry, which, due to his rapier, not rapier, his fencing skill, allows him to riposte. So he does damage. And at the time, I wasn't thinking because Wes always thrusts with his rapier. Um, but it is his dagger. Maybe he doesn't thrust with his dagger. Maybe he does slash with his dagger. But anyway, he does the rapier with his dagger, and he rolls a 19, which on the melee table is a headshot. So he did headshot, and he rolled a 6 on his d6 for max damage. So 6 plus 4 is 10 points of damage. And that was enough into his head to put him unconscious. He flops to the ground. Okay. That was cool. That was really, really a lot of fun. 6 kind of, that point kind of steps back, and we let him go, and then we wake up 4, ask him questions. He doesn't really respond with anything, so we let him go. They flee. And we check out 8. He has 3 silver coins that are Forg coins. So we go up the stairs. There's a door on the left, and further up, it turns right. We check the door. It's locked. Runt tries to pick it, is not able to. Or no, he knocked. Knock, knock, knock. No answer. Try to pick it. I don't think he was able to at that point. We go up north, head to the right, another door. This one he's able to get open, and this is some kind of a storeroom pantry. There's a butcher block. And as we start searching around, yeah, there are human hands here by the butcher block. I knew it was people. I just knew it. Soylent Green, right? We check out some of the chests. One of them actually has more body parts in it. And Wes is looking around for like gear and other equipment to help us ID who these people may have been. The only thing we find is this plate, huge plate with herb stuff on. In fact, it's so big it's actually a medium shield. Because Wes tries to read this herb stuff that's on it. No idea. He hands off to Raymond. He's not sure either, but he does see there's a piece of leather attached to this plate. And at that point, goes, this is large, like medium shield large, right? So we go back to the locked room, and Hjalmar battle axes the door down. We get inside, look around. Wes is specifically on the floor because he's thinking this should be tiled, similar to how the temple areas are tiled. And in fact, it is. He also sees some scratchy marks from underneath the bed. So there was something underneath the bed that got pulled out. Okay, there's got to be a secret door here somewhere. We search around. We find the secret door, but we can't figure out how to open it. While trying to figure that out, Wes hears footfalls on the stairs behind him. So we all kind of turn. Runt sees some movement out in the hall, shadows, that kind of thing. So we all kind of move forward to investigate. And sure enough, we turn, we come down, and we get to that T intersection. We get ambushed by 4 of these bugbears with crossbows. Some random determination who gets shot at. Wes was targeted once, and Wes kind of went through the whole process of, okay, he's hiding behind Raymond. What's sticking out? I was just thinking, okay, it's probably his left leg and maybe the abdomen. It should have been left arm. But left arm and leg aren't contiguous, and they wanted it contiguous. I think like using him for a shield, right? So leg and abdomen, of course, the abdomen got hit. But at that point, we talk about, can he cast? What's the spell? Shoot, it interferes with missile fire, right? Like it's not like a parry, but throw the wind out there and kind of throw it off kind of deal. And so at that point, at the very, very end, you're going to get ready to take damage to this location. And GM lists me, which is how I think it's really designed, although it's one of those 0 preparation spells, which to me means it's like in D&D you have your reaction spells, right? Maybe you only get 1 reaction spell at a turn anyway, but still. If I do this reaction spell, I can't cast a regular spell. So yeah. But anyway, do that. Deflections. That's what it's called. Deflections. And I deflect it off and it misses completely. So everybody moves forward and Wes preps up. It's called a sudden light spell. We call it a flashbang. It doesn't really bang, just flashes. But he missed on his first roll. But on his second roll, he was successful. And 3 of the 4 bugbears are stunned, varying from 1 to 4 rounds. West then tries to do a sleep again, but again, none of them succumb to it. It's going, yeah, it's not worth trying. Um, but Raymond gets a slash on number 4, who then flees. 6 follows him. Runt got hit with a chest wound. He went to 0 in his chest, so he's back behind. Not dying, but, coughing up blood kind of thing. Hjalmar stepped forward to take his place because there's only 2 on the front row. So he can attack. But they all end up fleeing. We do end up getting one of them as he attempts to flee. So there's, out of the 4, there's 1 dead here, or unconscious. But 3 have fled. 2 earlier, 1 later. So Wes rushes to the entrance and is asking, okay, can I still see them? Are they within 300 feet? There's some discussion on movement, that kind of thing. So all of them are within 300 feet. Next round, the 2 front ones won't be, but the 3rd guy will be. So Wes fires an overcharged shock bolt 3, which has the 300-foot range, and gets one of them, but doesn't really do anything. There's very minimal damage. But he fires the 2nd round, the same thing, overcharged shock bolt 3, and hit the leader guy who had been hit in the abdomen before, and I got him, and Wes got him in the abdomen. That was enough to put him down. His abdomen's at 0. He falls to the ground. He can no longer move. Crim's guys are there. They run down and take care of him. At that point, we all turn around. Oh, Runt's missing. So we do first aid, do healing to get Runt up. We head back up to the secret door. Runt, again, is unsuccessful. Hjalmar tries using the magic mace to break open this secret door wall thing, right? So more discussions on searching again, searching versus devise, and all that kind of stuff, right? We can't seem to get this thing figured out. So then we head south, head east. South again, there's the guard room. There are 2 sacks hanging. It's full of this yucky food stuff. There are hallways from this room off to east and west. We go west. There's a door in the south. And then it dog legs north and continues west. This door has prisoners behind it. There was some discussion through the door. I think Runt asked, "Are you guys prisoners in there?" Because they heard chains and things. And somebody's being a smart ass on their side, "No, we're not prisoners. We're just hanging out here for fun," kind of thing. And of course we're prisoners. Get us out of here. Okay, so anyway, we pick that open. There are 2 humans, a dwarf, although Wes is apparently the one who knows what a dwarf is. Otherwise, it's just a short, stocky human. There's a dead kobold and a dead goblin in there. They're all chained to the wall with a common chain. Runt's able to... No, he's not. Runt is trying to get it, but the dwarf is constantly critiquing him and giving him suggestions and really bugging him. That's not how I would have done that kind of stuff, right? So, I think we leave them at it. So Runt just kind of goes, "Okay, fine, take care of yourselves," and we leave. So we go to the other side. At dog legs, there's another locked door. Get that open. Inside is a larger prison room with more. These are humanoids, though, right? There's a bugbear, there's 2 hobgoblins, there's 2 gnolls, and there's this giant of a guy. And on either side of this giant are 2 dead hobgoblins. He wakes up and he speaks Norse. And he asks us, "Hey, did you kill them? Get me out of here. We can kill all the rest." And it turns out that Hjalmar actually recognizes this guy. He's called Wild Eye. He's heard of him. He's very much a wild guy, right? Some kind of a berserker from the islands to the north and east of where Hjalmar lives, right? Okay, so we kind of back out and we have these discussions. Okay, what do we do? Wes is thinking, we've let the other guys go. Let's just let them all go. And we kind of decide, okay, let's do that. But what we want to do is we want to let Wild Eye go first, get him out of here. So we can let the other ones go, otherwise he's going to kill them, right? So after Runt, who's very suspicious about this whole thing, frees Wild Eye from his chains, Hjalmar gives Wild Eye one of the bugbear swords, and at that, Wild Eye just starts killing everyone in there. Was just kind of, "Oh, no! Why did you give him the sword now? Take him to the entrance and let him go." Oh well. Anyway, so it's just Wild Eye's kind of standing there in shock as he's whack, killing everybody. So at that point, we all go wait outside, go out the entrance, go up the hill, so we're up above the entrance, and wait, and we wait, and we wait. But he doesn't come out, so we go back inside, and we find him. We did. I missed this in my notes. We did let the humans and the dwarf out. And we let them out. We sent them over to our camp across the way. Because when we go back in, we go back around past the prison where the humans were. That Dog Lane North, there's a dead end, and there's wildlife tapping on the wall. So we lead him all the way back through out to the entrance. And Yammer tells him there's some discussion somewhere. It must have been with Wildeye about. Yeah, he was asking about a dwarf, and we said that we let the dwarf free because he has some deal that if he was able to help the dwarf escape, that the dwarf would make Wildeye a sword. Okay, so we get him out, and Hjalmar says, the dwarf went over to our camp right over there, and so off Wildeye goes. Okay, we all discuss, yeah, there's no way we're trusting him, and so we follow along. There's no way we're going to leave him in our camp alone, unsupervised. So as soon as they get there, Wes kind of tells Krim about what had happened. We need to keep an eye on this Wild-Eye guy. He can't be trusted. And then Wild-Eye and the dwarf start arguing about something. Krim and some of the others seem to be, I think this dwarf, you've seen a dwarf, these are the dwarves. Things between the dwarf and the giant begin to escalate. So Krim walks over. She kind of develops a glow, not like bright light, but as a presence, right? And she casually asks, what seems to be the problem here? Perhaps I can help. The dwarf starts talking about how there's no payment due because there's no service given. And the giant says, you owe me a sword. So Krim says something to them, and they kind of calm down and go their separate ways. We rest that night. Next morning, Wildeye departs. We go back, try to check for that secret door again. Nope, nothing. So we head over to Cavern I. And that's where the session ended. Oh, 22 minutes. Lots of stuff happening, plus a lot of me jabbing. Sorry, guys. Happy gaming.